four-time Miss Olympia Jay Cutler. Welcome to my channel, Jay Cutler TV, and make sure to stay in tune with the newest and updated videos. Subscribe below, guys. Thank you so much for following along.
Hi, Day My Max 6, and we are back at the Mecca, and we are 2.5 weeks out from the 2018 Mr. Olympia, and I've got the 2008 Mr. Olympia, Dexter Jackson. Dexter, welcome to Muscle Beach TV.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Good to have you back, Dex. I'm going to touch on the Olympian in a second, but the reason why I wanted to talk to you today is because you have something very special that you're involved with. 2 weeks right after the Olympia, called The Legion. It's a brand new show in Long Beach, and it's a very cool concept because a lot of the current and former Mr. Olympia are involved in this show. Tell me a little bit about it and why you're involved in this project.
Well, it's my business partner, Chris Menace. It's his competition and expo as well. And the guy's just a marketing genius. You know, he's one of the best promoters I've ever seen. You know, he took over my Dexter Jackson Classic this year. And yeah, and
how'd it go? Tell me how it went.
It was amazing, man. It was really nice to be able to not have to worry about, running the show. You know, he did all the work. All I had to do is show up. You know what I'm saying? So
you've done it on your own for a few years. How many years have you been on your show? You've been doing this for a while, man.
I've had that show for 12 years. Yeah. Yeah. So I used to have a couple pro shows with it and all that stuff, so it's been around for a long time.
So it was nice this year to actually have someone. You weren't nervous to actually say, you know what, here, you take the reign, you deal with it, and I'll show up on the date you choose. You weren't nervous at all, no?
I wasn't nervous at all because every step of the way I still followed everything, and he kept me in tune with everything that he was doing. I knew every step that he was making, so I was very, very, I just let him handle everything, and it was awesome, man.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. So from that partnership, he is, and I think he's very creative, Chris. You got to give him that. So I think it was a very good concept for him to think, you know what, I want to inspire. I think that's what the Legion is about. It's about having people who had led the way in every single division, Olympia champions, and get them together and create this big event. So as far as I can remember, this show will have every single division except for the open bodybuilding, but it's only going to be pro and not going to be no amateur this year, right?
I'm not actually familiar with what's going on with the show when it comes to categories and stuff like that. I'm just there. Chris asked me to come, and I said no problem. Wow. He asked me if I was interested in doing a seminar and stuff like that. So nice. Of course, I'm not against that at all. Anything that can help him in his show out, I'm willing to do.
That's awesome. Let's talk about the Olympia for just 1 second. We're 2.5 weeks out, and this year it seems to me that this is one of your best look, way, way, way far ahead. When you came back to Venice and start training here, I told you, I said, my God, I can't believe how big you look, how lean you look. It seems to me like at your age, you're still making massive progress, which is unheard of. I was talking to Danny a few seconds ago before you came in. Same thing with him. It seems to me like more and more, a lot of the older guys, Josh Wade and all these guys, as they're getting in their mid to late 40s, are making even more progress than before. How do you explain that?
I think
just blessed.
Well, one is genetics. I think that's the first thing. 2 is work ethic. You know what I'm saying? You got to have an amazing work ethic, which I do. I don't know how Danny, Danny don't work out that hard, so I don't know how he look amazing like this year round.
He's even more of a freak than you are. Then.
Yeah, hey, I'm the first to admit that. But he only 200 pounds, so or 150.
He's sitting right there.
Yeah, Danny's sitting right there, y'all. I'm just giving him a hard time. But yeah, man, Danny always looked like this, man. Ever since I can go as far as amateurs when I first met this guy.
Yep.
And we would be backstage, and I'm already pumped up, ready to go, getting oiled up and stuff. And the couple classes before us was Danny class. So they was all lined up, getting ready to go on stage. And I see this guy run back there, and he just throws his hands up like this, and they start stripping him and putting all. I'm like, who is it? What the hell is this dude?
Always last minute.
Always last minute with everything. This joke will jump in the show in 2 weeks out. I think I'm gonna do it this week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Go low carb a couple of days. That's it.
That's Danny, man. That's what I love about the guy. He's amazing. He's always in shape. That's how a Mr. Olympia should carry themselves, like me and Danny. Yeah. Off season, we look good. On season, off season, we can throw down when we come to dressing nice. I'm not even gonna go there with the other stuff, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I think he said something that will ring true with you, because I've heard you say the same thing too. Even though for a while he wasn't competitive and he wasn't, competing, because he probably felt like he had nowhere to go. So to get he got his pro card late, but he never stopped training, just like you did. You never stopped. I think a lot of these guys sometimes they stop training for a few years, they try to make a comeback, and it doesn't work out because time off is too long. You guys have never stopped training since the moment you started as an amateur, became professional, and always kept, going.
Yes, we've never stopped. Even Danny, even though Danny didn't compete, he still was in the training every day.
That's right.
A lot of people that try to make comebacks, like Kevin and all this stuff, I would say, I just don't see how a guy can take 10 years off and come back and, everybody had him placed in the top 5 at the Olympia. Some had to even win the Olympia. I'm like, that's impossible.
Even 2 years off
And then everybody started dogging me, saying I'm hating on him. I'm like, I'm not hating. It's a fact.
You just knew.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been in the game and you train and you've gotten older from training so many years, like Danny and I have, and a lot of other guys, that's impossible to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I give him all props, man, for what he did do for coming back for being off so long.
Yeah. But even 2 years, because I know when Jay had his arm surgery the first time, he took a year and a half off, and it was so hard for him to come up. And not just the training, the mindset. When you stop doing it for a little bit, you forget how tough it is to compete at that level.
Yeah. It's not easy. And coming after the show this year, the Arnold Classic that was my last show this year. Yeah. I had been going back to back to back doing all these shows, and I said, you know what? I hadn't been able to take my break like I normally do. I took 6 weeks off from the gym, didn't go to the gym for a whole full 6 weeks. Detoxed like crazy for like 12 weeks. And man, my body is so fresh right now, man. It feels like a baby, brand new body again. You know what I'm saying? And everything is just clicking. Everything.
Is that why the difference is
there? That's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference, big time. And I got some off-season stuff done. I'm not gonna get into it right now until after the show. Yeah. I don't want all these guys stealing, what I did, so they can look good too. So we're gonna wait till after the show, and I'll tell you guys what I did to really improve. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, Dex. Do you You were telling me a little bit last week. You're like, you know what, man? My name is not being mentioned, thrown around, but these guys are like forgetting already. Like it's like everyone's counting me out. Do you really believe that some people are counting you out? Are you serious? Because I think it's a big mistake.
I think guys that know,
been in the game for a long time. Yeah.
That are real commentators, not these guys on the message boards who don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? But guys that's been around and know bodybuilding, they know. You know what I'm saying? But people that like I said, that's on the message boards and all of these computer warriors, those guys are the ones that don't know nothing. I mean, because it's like I barely lost to Arnold this year. How the hell you can't I not be in the top 5? That makes zero sense at all.
I know. We're not going to have to wait too long to see that you're going to prove everybody wrong, just like you always do, just like you do every year. I'm really, I got to say on a personal note, I'm really glad you're still competing. To see you and to see Danny doing so well and still making all those progress year after year is great for people my age. It's great. Even JD says, you know what? I'm not that old. When I see these guys. But again, he's still training. He's just not doing it full blown. Like, I don't think he'll ever stop. He still looks good. But Yeah. So, but you guys are motivating more than you know, millions of people around the world, and I just want to say thank you for that, man.
Of course, but you know, it's always a pleasure getting on this Olympia stage. I'm really looking forward to compete next week. And
Are you still excited? Do you still love it when you get on that stage?
I'm still very excited, man, because I love to freaking win. You know, that's what it's all about. If y'all ever lose that fire in my heart,
Time to go.
it's time to go.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. You're too good, man. So
Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you.
I appreciate you doing this interview. Guys, check out the Legions 2 weeks after the Olympia. But until then, watch out for these two guys, Dexter Jackson, Danny Hester, at the 2018 Mr. Olympia. I can't wait. It's Dave MX6, Dexter Jackson for J Cutler TV, and we're out.